This was me at 14 years old. And this is me 10 years later at 24. In my 10 years of training naturally, I was able to put on about 70 pounds or 30 kilograms. But what if you feel like no matter what you are doing, you just can't put on muscle size, and every time you look in the mirror, you just feel weak and small? Well, I can relate to that. Not only when I was a teenager, I was struggling to put weight on myself, but I've also trained many of my clients in the gym as a personal trainer who would consider themselves a hard gainer. And I know exactly how discouraging and how demotivating it feels to look in the mirror and then to look in the mirror again 3 months later and to look exactly the same or feeling like you look even smaller. But let me assure you guys, it's not the end of the world, and it's certainly not the end of your fitness journey. Because even as a hard gainer, you can put on some serious muscle size, and in this video I'm gonna show you how. It's all gonna come down to a 3-step method and 3 major changes that you probably need to make in your life. First, lifestyle, second, nutrition, and third, training. Because all of these factors play a huge role into how much muscle you're going to build. And one thing you really need to understand, guys, is bodybuilding or building muscle in general is not just about the 90 minutes you spend in the gym a day. It's also about how much you sleep, what you are eating, how you are structuring your daily life, and how much energy you have left for your workouts. So when I think about the lifestyles that my clients had who consider themselves hard gainers, the exact same problems always occurred. First, they had an extremely fast metabolism, they had no set eating times, and sometimes they would go for hours and hours without eating at all, and they also had a lack of discipline, which resulted in a lack of sleep in their lifestyles. So for example, they would be up all night long playing video games and stuff like that. So how do we conquer these problems? Like it is with everything in life, if you want to get good at something, you need to make it a priority. And like I said, bodybuilding is not just about the hour or the 90 minutes that you spend in the gym working out. It starts when you get up, eating a solid breakfast, making sure you eat every 3 or 4 hours, making sure you meet your protein goals of approximately 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. All those are factors that you need to consider. And especially if you're a hard gainer and you have a fast metabolism, it's even more important to eat frequently. So this is the first thing I want you to change. The frequency of your eating. No more skipping breakfast, no more 8-hour windows in the day where you're not eating at all. Eat at least 4 solid meals every single day, and this is lifestyle change number 1. Secondly, it's all about discipline. I know playing video games all night is fun. I know watching movies all night can be fun. But let's face it, you need to get at least 7 or 8 hours of sleep every single night. A lack of sleep is the number 1 muscle killer. So if you're not willing to commit to this lifestyle and to make sure that you're sleeping at least 7 hours a night, then I'm sorry to tell you that you will never reach your physique goals. But I know you're watching this video because you're serious about this, and one thing you really need to get serious about is your nutrition, and that's the number 2 step in our 3-step method. So in my experiences as a personal trainer, there are 2 types of hard gainers. The first one is the guy who's paranoid about every single gram of carbohydrates that he eats because he thinks it will make him fat. And he comes to me or he comes to his coach and tells him, hey, I want to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. And let me tell you guys, if you're a hard gainer, this method isn't the one for you. This only works well, first, if you're a beginner and if you have a pretty high body fat percentage. So your body is able to give up energy in the form of fat to convert it into muscle, or recomposition as we call it. And the second type of hard gainer is who I call Mr. Dirty Bulk. It's the one who just cares about gaining weight because he's sick and tired of being skinny, so he spends the day at Burger King, spends the day in McDonald's, and he doesn't care about anything but gaining weight, and every single pound that he puts on is a reason to celebrate. However, this also isn't the right method, because 70 or 80% of that weight that you're gaining is just fat. So going for the extreme route and choosing an extremely large caloric surplus also isn't the way, and it's not necessary to make the gains that you desire. So what should you do? Well, the answer is going into a moderate but consistent caloric surplus of around 400 to 500 calories. And normally I only recommend 200 or 300 calories, but as a hard gainer you have a tendency to put fat on really slowly, which is why it can make sense to go for a little bit higher caloric surplus. And make sure that about 2/3 of your carbohydrates comes from clean foods such as oatmeal, rice or whole grain products. And as far as the other third is concerned, it's okay to indulge a bit because I know it can be difficult to eat over your hunger. If you want to get in the best shape of your life, then make sure you head over to $20transformation.com and make me your personal coach for only $20. The program includes 4 scientific training phases as well as personal email support from me where you can ask me any questions and I will make sure that you stay accountable. It also contains meal plan examples for all kinds of preferences as well as macro and calorie calculation to make sure that you reach your personal goal. It's the best offer in fitness, it's only available for a limited time. I'm only running it with a bunch of clients who have great success, so make sure you hop on the team as well and I'll see you on the team. So now let's talk about the third and most fun point, the training. When it comes to HARDGAINER training, it's all about fast twitch fiber training, which means doing a lot of heavy compound movements. So when I'm training HARDGAINERs, I always make sure that I start them out with a full body workout 3 times a week. And we're doing squats, we're doing deadlifts, military presses, bench presses from different angles, barbell rows and so forth. So I make sure that we're doing exercises that have an eccentric component and a loaded stretch and a high potential for progressive overload. And we're training in heavy to moderate rep ranges, which means around 4 to 10 reps per set. Also make sure that you incorporate some sets into your workouts that have a strength focus. So going into even lower rep ranges such as 4 to 6 reps or even 3 to 5 reps can lead to neurological changes that will drive progressive overload and lead to faster hypertrophy gains as well. So this is it for today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you could learn something from this. And again, for $20 you can make me your personal coach by heading over to $20transformation.com. Until then, stay strong, stay healthy, see you next time.